Hi friends, hope you have enjoyed our so far whatever tutorials we have developed using pandas, and we have seen previously data cleaning part we have almost completed. Few more functions are there, you can try those things, and the cleaning based on the requirement you can use them and get the proper data from your source data. Now in this, best thing to learn is work on some projects. It need not be a very big or complex project, small projects that will help us in or reinforces our whatever we have learned, or it will focus on new learnings also. Now let's say one small application we want to develop. Now here this was a requirement, actually I was practicing that, and it's a 20 line of code, Python code, where in a different directories, whatever the files are there, we'll collect the file name, we'll collect the file size, and when the last it was modified, because it was a requirement that I had to modify something around say 2500 to 3000 files spread across some 5-6 directories. Now I was just finding how far I have my progress is, how many files are already modified, how many are yet to be modified. For that, what I was doing is I was running a small program of around 20 line of codes in Python, not a very big one. It goes to the directory, reads the file name, reads its size, and when the last modified it is, then it stores it in a, creates a data frame, and from the data frame we create a Excel file. Each Excel file against one directory. So what happens? Fine, every time I run this, the previous files are Excel files are removed and a new set of Excel files are created. This way I can monitor my progress. Then what happens in a part 2, using these Excel files, we can develop a report module where it will read and tell me how many files are modified in last 1 month or last 10 days or last 2 days, whatever the time period we input. And even we can integrate Kinter application where a user can select the period and all, and which directory he wants, and accordingly he can identify. So in the first, we'll start with how to read the directory, take out the data, file name, date of modification, size, etc., and create a data frame, and then create a Excel file. Before we start coding, here is the URL which you can use it to download the source code. This is available in the description below. You just scroll down, copy this code to create the Excel files, and once your files are created, we will be using this particular part to generate the reports. We are in our Visual Studio Code. Here 3 directories libraries I am using. Operating system or OS, because I want to read the file name, modify time, and all what's the size and all. For that I will be using this. And data time, because I may have to convert the whatever date and time I read it in a different format. Then our pandas I am importing. Then here is a list of directories I am want to scan it or go to collect the file details and move it. You can use less and change to your directories. These are the 5 directories I am going to use. So you can add or remove and change the file directory names. So inside this I will be looping through that. So for D in L1 is my list at the top. So each directory, I am starting with each directory, and inside that our entire code will be there. So for here, what I will do, I will create 2 paths. So one is my path where I will be storing my files, and where I will be reading from, where from I am reading, and my absolute path I have to give. So for that purpose, let me just paste it here. So you can see there are 2 files this path I am giving, and here you see this, though it is my path up to this directory name here, then I have used the D. D means here it will add the directory in one loop, one directory, next loop, another directory, like that. Then FX, this is where my Excel file I will be storing. I am giving C data to, because each Excel file name should contain the directory. Say it is HTML tutorial, then HTML tutorial.xlsx. So for that, similarly, if it is Python, then python.xlsx. So this is the file names along with the path. So in your case, definitely it should be changed, and these 2 values you change based on yours. Initially, suppose you don't want to loop through all the entire directory, what you do is keep it here, say I want only the this particular one to be, I will delete this. So for what will happen, I will comment this line. So I am using only one directory first. So one Excel file will be created. Now entire my code will be inside this for loop. Now what I am going to do is I have to each time inside this I'll create a list of files of that directory. So what I am writing is os.list dir then path. What is that? Path is at the above line number 9 I have created the file. So I get a list of files now in that particular directory. Now let me create the data frame. Now I am saying df equal to pd dot data frame. Fine. Now columns. What should be the column? This is where you, based on your requirements, you can add or remove the columns. So I am saying columns equal to, I am creating a list of my columns. What I am going to use, fname, this is my file name. Then one dt, this is where the file modified date or created date also I can collect. Now the size, these are my 3 columns. It's a blank data frame. So I will write it. Blank df data frame. Now note that inside this loop for every time we will be creating this data frame. So for one directory, one data frame will create. Next time we will overwrite that. Okay, so we have created the data frame. Now what we will do, df. Now this dt column or date column, whatever in this particular data frame, equal to, now we'll say this is to store our date data. So date time. Now what I am saying is df. Now to date time df and dt. So I am just changing the column data type to date and time. So to date and time will convert. This is no more a string. It understands, the pandas knows that now it has to hold the date and time data in this particular column, because all our when we prepare reports and all, we will be applying those things. Suppose if it is, we can store it as a string also, but then all the date calculation we cannot apply. So this line will convert it into a date column, that one. So that is up to this is fine. Now what we are going to do is for f in files. Now we will be looping through. So up to this, try to understand this. Let's run and see. We should, but note that if I want to, let me just print the files in this case instead of pass. Print f. What it will give, we will be seeing this. Now let's run this. I should something error, cannot find the C. Ocha, here I have to change my case. There is a mistake here. I have to give the correct path here. DAPD, Pandas has noted to date time. Pandas to date time, 1 minute, PD to date time. Fine, these are the mistakes. Fine, it lists out all the files. Let's comment this line. We are, sorry. Fine, now let's collect the times or what time this file was modified. T. Now stamp is just a variable os.path. Now what I am getting is get m time. Get m time will gives me the modified time. So path plus f. Now here this particular one gives me the absolute path plus the file name, because f is, I am looping through the list. So this f will come here. Path I have already declared up to this point it will take. So this is the path with the directory name, and then the file name is taken from the list and added it here. So and using that I am getting the modified, what time this file was modified. Say I also want same time. I will just copy this line, paste it again. I will say C time, means it's a what time the file is created. If I want that, I can use it. I am commenting this because I am interested in modified time. You may change it as per your requirement. So now that is then what I will do. I want a particular extension type only to be monitored, to be stored. So for that, what I am getting, f name, file name, or I am extension, f extension equal to these two, os.path.split text. Yeah, it is here, split text. Now path plus f. Now the same thing here, the address is total with the file name with that, and it will store the file name, and f extension variable will get the extension. It is a text file or HTML file or .php file. In my requirement, I will, even if you don't require this part you can ignore it, or you can comment this part. If I am saying f extension, this is what equal to what I am saying now .php, because here telling if it is .php then only you store it or do the storing in created data frame, all this exercise. If it is not case, remove it also. Now what I am telling is size equal to os dot path dot get size, path plus f. Now this will give me the size of the particular file. If it is X, otherwise it will skip it. If it is, it will go to the next file because it is inside a for loop here. Okay, so this is fine. Path f, size I got it now. Now date dt modified. Sorry, this I have already got it. I have to create the date object. So dt mod or modify time. This is the date object I am creating. Date time dot from timestamp, because this is what I get it from the above. I got the timestamp at line number 16. So that I am using t. Now I am say stamp. So I created a date object. Now why I am creating this date object? I'll write it. Fine. Now if you want, you can print it. Now mdate, modified date. The same thing I am creating in another format I have to specify. Date time dot strf time. Now here I am saying use the date modified and give me this value in a particularly this format. So I am saying y, then I'll say m means m month, then the date. So in this format only, percentage then d. So I have to keep it in this particular format. So if you want in a different, you can use that one. Now here there are two ways. Now this data I will be inserting to the blank data frame, whatever I have created here. This data frame I will insert it. So inside the loop one by one loop, I have to append it. So I can use append, but from Pandas 2.0 onwards, the append is removed. So what I am going to do is I will leave the append, but I will comment that particular line. So I am saying df equal to df dot append. If you are using less than 2.0, then it will work for you. I will give you the other code also. So what I am going to do, I will create a dictionary here. I am appending to my original data frame or the blank data frame what I have created here, line number 12. So here I am posting a f name. I have to maintain the names also. F is the file name, whatever inside the loop, the list we are looping through. Now then dt, that is the date column. Now what you should go there is mdate. Now again, now what I will size. Sorry, it should be column name size. Now what is the value? This also we have created. So let's say size. Now this is the, if you are using append, but this won't work. In my case, it will generate error, attribute error, append is not supported because append is removed. Now what I am going to do is I will create a df2, exclusively one single row data frame. So it will be pd dot data frame. Now what I am creating is I will be creating giving a dictionary here. I am saying f name. Now what this value, because it's a scalar value, so I will be using a list here. Same thing, f I am keeping it here. So this is file name I have stored. Now then dt what's the value is. Now I am keeping again inside a list. Mdate is the modified date, or it can be created date also. Now let me one more I will go, that is size. So we can sizd. Okay, now let me just put it inside this list size. So I got that df2. This is every time this will be created, so it will be written. So a fresh data frame will be created. Now I will use concat. So that my data frame equal to pd dot concat. Now what it is, df the source, and this what I have just now created, the single row data frame. If both you concat it or merge it. So like that. If actually this line would have done my job, now I have to create these two lines because I am using concat. If it is less than 2.0, you can use this line number 23, which is commented. In source code, you can see both. Now my data frame is ready. If you want, come out outside the where I have to come. Now you can see I have to come if, and I have to make it parallel to the for. So here I will just come to this point. So for here I can print df head, some 5 sample records. Or if you want, okay, let's see that. Before going for Excel, let's up to this point, let's run and see. I am just saving this, run this. df2, what is the object as not subscript type error function? df, okay, here I have to, sorry, concat, I have to, brackets I missed. Let's run this. Here it is. You can see my f name is a sample because head will return me 5 sample records from the top. So it is taken f name, date and size. Finally, instead of printing this, we'll store the Excel file. So what I am doing, I am commenting this line, coming out, and in the same line, because once the for loop is completed, then only this should work. df to Excel. Now here it is. f underscore x. What is f underscore x? Here it is. Your line number 10, you can see it takes care of the path and the file name. So this is my inside my data2 directory. It will create the file taking the particular directory name as name of the file with xlx extension. So here I am saying index equal to false. Don't use the index. It is of no use to me. I will just save this. You note that I have only taken this as directory name. Now if I run this, what will happen is, fine. Now let me come back. Here you can see the JavaScript tutorial Excel file is created. Now let me just open this. Yeah, you can see here the f name, dt and size. 3 columns are there. I can expand it also. Fine. So it is as per 3 columns it is creating. Now let me don't save. Now let me delete this. And one more thing I will do. Now I will use all my directories. It will take bit time based on the what now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I am expecting 5 Excel files to be created taking all data. From these one by one directory, it will browse and it will, okay, it's over. Now let me go to my data2 directory. Here it is. You can see 5 Excel files are created. I can open one and just see what's yes, it is the in that whatever directory, when it was modified, what is the file size, these 3 things it is giving. That's all, friends. These Excel files, whatever we have created now, we can use it for our analysis purpose. Say we want to find out how many files we have modified in last 10 days or last 1 week or 2 weeks or in a particular month or previous 2 months. All the time analysis we can do it on this one and identify. Similarly, we can also use the size of the file because that is a column we have already stored. So based on what are the files which have less occupied space or less file size, threshold value will take it and be less than that or more than that, we can list it out. So this way whatever is required we can analyze it. Even we can expand this Excel file also to add more file features to it. It is up to us based on our application and our requirement. Now before we move to the second part 2 where we will be doing all this analysis and all, and we will also try to integrate with our Kinter applications. My request is please subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon so you will be notified as and when we add our new tutorials, and we are frequently doing that also. And please share this with your friends, and thank you for watching.